6 o'clock? Oh my God.
Welcome.
Time for the podcast.
This is the second episode of El Oso and the Duck. I am El Oso. This is the Duck.
What up?
Welcome. We were experiencing some technical difficulties last episode. We apologize as we are learning as we go because we're both idiots. And we're just trying to figure out how to do things in a comfortable fashion, but in a timely fashion is what we need to learn how to manage a little better. So,
problem
thank you for joining
you can't
us.
Test going live until you go live.
Yeah, that's the problem, is the going live stuff. So, if you do end up watching this and you would rather have us go recorded and post than live, let us know if you enjoy the live.
Yeah, that's what it needs to be.
We want to know what you enjoy and what you don't enjoy. So,
all right,
Mr. B-Rod.
Which one's mine?
That one's yours. This obviously mine with the bear cut.
Can you put yours over there just so they're not? I don't want to bump them.
It is. Oh yeah. Okay, I'll get you that. Just kicking it right off. Right. I wanted to bring this up actually on the live, and I wanted Brian's opinion as well as those who are beginning to join in. Our last episode, we asked for constructive criticism, and we got it.
Yeah.
So we're going to kind of go over that a bit because there were some difficult areas to realize, but once it was brought to my attention why it must be a realization, it made me further think on, first of all, the way I say things. I can still get the same message across without using certain words. And Brian has brought up to me that now that I am a part of a non-Fortune 500 company, which I am the co-owner of.
Well, I think it's just a matter of you've always worked for companies that you don't have any personal investment in, and or work for yourself that you really weren't in the public eye. Where I think now it's not only are we in a public eye, but we're also doing security work. I mean, what are we pushing the D class all week? Professionalism.
Oh, yeah. No, and I understand that.
Since we represent that flag, professionalism, well, don't get me wrong, this is our personal life, and we are going to try to be as unfiltered and raw with you guys as possible. We still fly a flag, and we still represent others' flags. So we do have to play ball, not necessarily where we can't say what we want to say. It's just how we say it.
Right. It's just I have never thought.
It's like Mom used to say, it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
But I just never thought in my general life that I would be in kind of this prominent position where I'm a co-owner of something, where I have others that look at the way I view things or say things that may be detrimental to outside factors that I never looked at or took into consideration. So just to be considerable, and the fact that we are businessmen, we're going to try to curb some of our language.
Your mom said, "What up, guys?
What up, man? First supporter, always showing the love, the moms."
That's right.
But we kind of wanted to get that out the way.
If you don't love your mama, screw you. I'm a firm believer in that.
I love my mama.
If you don't love your mama,
know that shit. Everybody know that.
Screw you. You gotta love your mama.
But yeah, so me and Brian kind of touched base on it. He did open my eyes to some factors. I do understand that I am an acquired taste. I am not for everybody. I understand that. But at the same time, I do have to hold myself to a certain standard now that I am a businessman, now that I am a manager of a business, now that I am presenting myself outwards as an image. Okay, my brain can understand that.
He's got to represent.
Right, you don't shit where you eat. I get it. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to put it out to the viewers out there. If you felt the same way, if you feel like, you know what I'm saying, you like the action that way, we just want to know heads or tails.
And eventually what we might do is conversations we know might go a little more sideways. We might, instead of doing them live, probably privately video them once we're figuring out some of our video issues. Maybe we'll video them and do them just on YouTube versus on lives. Because obviously you got to dig into to find our YouTube a little more.
Yeah.
Where a live is something you could just, right now you could be scrolling through Facebook and be like, oh, these jackasses are live. And there you go.
Yeah, and you get a notification if you have it alerted that, hey, I just went live.
Yeah.
So we'll leave it up to you guys, those who have watched it live, those who watch it later. What would you rather prefer? Do you like it live? Do you like the immediate interaction? or would you rather have a generalized, better edited recording that gets the general podcast out the way?
Or more raw. Like,
right. I personally like the live. I like the interaction. I like to see people interacting and questions that may come up while in conversation. Duckie is more on he likes to get the podcast assembled and the whole message across. And sometimes having the interaction with people does get a little detrimental to trying to stay on topic. But we're here for you. That is the whole point of this, is just showing you guys what we normally do on a day-to-day basis.
When we're bringing up, women being in their feelings and, they're all commenting, that's not me. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Brian, behave.
Yeah, it is. If you're a woman, you're in your feelings. You know why? Because you're a woman.
I mean, if that's a hard pill to swallow for you, then
if that's a cold statement,
he might have a point. Right.
Take it to the kitchen and stay next to the oven.
Brian, ladies, I'm with you. That's not right. You shouldn't be saying shit like that. That's not right. I don't like that. I don't like that.
I say it in love. I'm a mama's boy. My wife.
All right, let's move on before we get canceled.
Love her, love her, love her.
You know how these women are, ladies. I love y'all. Much love. I mean, I'm married. Sorry, but
that's right. This gun already got a holster, baby.
And your input just as much as the men we're trying to reach.
I'm married to my wife and my 1911.
All right, so, Mr. Brian.
Yes, sir.
I have a question to pose to you, sir.
And I have an answer to pose for you, sir.
Right. Do you think, as a young adult, whether it's male or female, should they learn a trade before
all day long.
College?
All day long.
Remember how they used to have the home ec, the fucking mechanic shop, what was the one with fucking carpentry or dealing with wood or whatever?
Well, hell, we even had in my high school, we even had a robotics lab.
Oh, see, no.
We had auto shop.
We had an auto shop.
We had a class called production technology.
Didn't have that.
And it was all learning about engineering.
Right.
Kind of an engineering
plus trades would be
plus wood shop. It's pretty cool.
I personally think wood shop, at least, because look, I got into it in my later years to see what I'm capable of myself if I had a layout of what job needs to be done, and I feel like I could do a pretty good job. But if I didn't have the training that I did from my youth, like from my cousin Wilfred, shout out Wilfred, you know what I'm saying? He used to let me work on his roofing company, and I would learn how to deal with different sizes of wood. I feel like it's also
a matter of learning skills that, you know what, maybe your job or career of choice doesn't work out. You have skills that put you at a point where you're not starting pure entry level.
Right, and I think that's the issue with the kids today. If, say, hey, I wanted to go be a stockbroker, or I wanted to go be a numbers analyst somewhere, or whatever.
An Instagram influencer.
Or an Instagram influencer, whatever. And then they find out that the market is so saturated that they can't really make a dent into it. So, in the meantime, to make some money of your own, it would be good to know a trade. HVAC, plumbing, roofing, landscaping, just something that will help you along as you try to figure out your future.
Well, and I've even argued this over the years, and maybe an unpopular opinion, and maybe coming a little weird for me since I don't have military background. What's your take on mandatory military service?
Okay.
If you know you are not going straight out of high school into college, and even then, I'm back and forth on that, because some people are just going into college for the wrong things. They're just extending their high school.
No, here would be my personal opinion, all right, y'all? So don't fucking bash me too goddamn hard. As a veteran, I do believe that the military is beneficial for men. Now, ladies, again, don't crucify me just yet. Let me finish my statement before y'all want to be throwing the hate.
Shit on me.
No. Because I have valid reasons for what I'm about to say.
Okay.
So, in my eyes, as a man trying to bring up men, the military is a great way to instill discipline, responsibility,
kind of solidify
accountability. Right.
Okay.
Okay, now, I will say this as a caveat. Not everyone is built for the military.
No.
There are people out there that it's just not for you, bruh. It's just not for you. And I understand that. I'm not knocking it. What I'm knocking is the people out there that never tried. The people out there that never gave the military the opportunity. Now, again, I'm speaking more towards men and women. I will get to the women. Give me a second. I feel like if the men had the opportunity to show themselves what they're worth in the military brings out the best in you, whether you like it or not. Whether you're a competitive person, whether you're a person that wants to prove something to yourself, whether you're a person that's trying to prove your family right or wrong, depending on the reason you join, because, you know what I'm saying? Reasons can differ. But what I'm saying is for a man, for me personally, for the way I've seen my son in the aftermath, like, it instills discipline, responsibility, and accountability. And for me, those are 3 qualities in a man that they have to understand in order to make their way through life. So I think military for men should be mandatory. But...
Well, circling back to where it started with this, though, I also feel like going military, it's twofold. Obviously, building the defense of our country, because like it or not, we're always a hated country by the rest of the world.
We the biggest stick out there, people.
But also, it's teaching them a skill. Like your son, he's going to come out of the military with a real-world skill that opens up careers for him. Not jobs, careers. And I'm sorry, I don't see where college, other than for very niche subjects, you come out with a guaranteed career opening opportunity, whatever.
That's what I feel like the big lie was. Like, if you go to college, you will be successful. Like,
I think that shit
not
really. All day.
I've seen people who put time and effort into being, you know what I'm saying, whatever they wanted to be, and spent the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years in college, $200,000, and they're still out here looking for a job.
No.
Or they're saying what I'm telling you. The market is so saturated, I can't even make my way in.
And show me what career a liberal arts degree opens up for you.
I'm not even going to go there because I am with you. I feel like unless you're going for a super niche career, unless you're going for law, criminal law is something you have to learn. You have to learn all the ins and outs and statutes and all that. But
your
outside
phone is
of that,
so far I can barely read it.
Outside of that,
you know what I can do?
If you are going for a trade, especially for the men out there, it's a lot easier to have something to fall back on in the event that whatever you're pursuing is not working out at the time. Now, ladies, I have had experiences with women in the military where they have outperformed men. I'll give y'all that. Even in high stress situations. Okay? I have had personal experiences where women have performed as good or better than some men. Okay? So I'm not saying not every woman is not built for this. What I'm telling you is, when you look at the grand scope of things, as a female, for example, in a combat zone, and you just happen to have your blood demon show up, that is now an extra concern that you have to worry about while on the battlefield that a man doesn't have to worry about. If you just so happen to get deployed, and while on deployment, you figure out that you're pregnant, that is now an extra problem that we have to facilitate to get you out when we don't have to worry about that with men. That is my argument as far as men and women.
So Kim commented here, I am all for school. However, if you know someone, you can always get a job anywhere. And here's what I would say to that.
Hi, Kimmy.
Hi, Kim. Appreciate the comment. A job and a career is 2 different things.
2 different things, people.
And I do wholeheartedly agree with what you're saying. You network, you meet the right people. Yes, a job
is available,
which stands for just above broke. All right, or just over broke.
I was going to say just over broke. Above is an 8, so that's jab.
Florida education. You can tell I didn't go to school. But reality of it is, just over broke versus a career.
Right.
I think is a little different. And
something
don't get me wrong.
Long-lasting.
Jobs can turn into careers. But unfortunately, sometimes jobs stay jobs. And that is not probably where you want to be.
That's where I feel that a lot of people get stuck in. They go to the job with the anticipation of getting a career. Yeah. And then it ends up staying a job. And then eventually you hate your job. That's why I always dislike, the reason I left Chicago so quickly is because when I got out the military and I came back, I was gone 4 years. And when I came back, everyone was still doing the same thing 4 years later. And if I'm trying to make my life better and if I'm trying to improve myself, I want to be around someone that every year it's something better. Every year we're trying to achieve another goal, another success, another business, another opportunity, another way to make money, another way to give us more time off of our families. Like,
well, it's like I came out of high school, went straight into corrections and all that. And I remember coming back from the academy and, obviously I moved away to work for the state. And I'd come back and, I still had people, and nothing against being a waitress or a waiter or whatever. But, they were still serving it, Red Lobster. They were still the same job they had freshman year in high school.
See, but that's where then I do believe they get into the
and they're like, I kick ass as a waiter and I can make bank. Cool, but what's the longevity there?
Right. How long do you want? Do you want to do that when you're 40? Do you want to do that when you're 50? Or do you want a career where eventually you can achieve behind the desk, calling the shots, being out somewhere, being able to travel, going to meetings? Like,
well,
I think it depends on your ambition.
And I feel like there's a lot of jobs that kind of dangle that carrot of like, you could get into management and you could get into this.
But that's what I don't like about
But when you got
the work world,
40 servers and one shift manager, how much opportunity is really there?
Yeah.
Like, where's the opportunity to move and progress up?
But they have to have a general idea that there's not much room for progression.
But they dangle that carrot?
Yeah, but
and when you're a young 19-year-old with no future ahead of you,
no, but
that carrot
their
shines
progression
bright.
Then would be, how good do I give my waiting service to get tips? Because that's what they're judging their
well,
job
in today's
off
world,
of.
you can be a shitty waiter and be a good waiter.
Oh, no, not with me. I'll tell y'all motherfuckers that right now.
Yeah.
No
There's
tip
crap
for you if your
online
service
about
is bad.
25%. And even if they're having a bad day and service sucked, then don't go out to eat.
Nope.
Kiss my fuzzy butt. Because I'll tell you right now, I am that a-hole.
Me too.
That will leave a penny,
Yep.
sit it on the receipt, circle it, put an arrow and say, this is what service was worth.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, I either tip nothing or I tip great. There's no in between for me. And there's things as a server you can control. My drink being full. Hey, I need mayonnaise. Bring me mayonnaise. Like, okay, cool. I get the kitchen takes forever to cook shit. But there's things you can control. Don't blame the kitchen for everything.
Right. Maintaining my drink level. If you see me down a lemonade the moment you bring it, obviously I'm going to want more goddamn lemonade. Like, I shouldn't be sitting here.
Yeah. I'm not even mad if you bring me a second. Bring me a second. Or hell, I used to go shout out Rodeo Diner in St. Cloud. And they'd bring a little, like, quarter pitcher of sweet tea. Because they knew I'd kill that shit.
I mean, you are a big man.
Especially back then. I was even bigger.
Oh, you have no idea if you don't know people. But anyways, so I get what you're saying. I am just saying that as far as having a trade, having some type of skill is beneficial in the event that whatever you're trying to pursue doesn't work out.
Well, and having backup plans. Like, I'm guilty of this. And I'll wholeheartedly admit it all day long. The further I've gone down the road doing what I'm doing, I've created where I'm in a very niche field. And outside of doing what I do, the only opportunities there for me is like managing a gun shop. You know?
See, I don't believe that's true. I used to think that way. But as you help me transition into this job, like, the more I do it, the
lot
better
of the
I
skills
get at it.
you can get creative and say it plays in other stuff. But resume-wise, I'm very niche.
I think it depends on how you look at it. Because a lot of people will see certain certifications that you have as a plus, regardless of if it's within the gun world or not.
I don't plan on shutting down Don't Be a Sitting Duck anytime soon, so we're not going to find out.
Not really. I hope not.
That's right.
But
Can't drown the duck, baby. Can't drown the duck.
It's actually a good topic to transition into, right? Because me and Brian have talked about this before as
Can we not use the term transition? I don't like that.
Oh, my God.
It makes me think of weird things.
As we segue into the new topic. See what I got to deal with?
Isn't that a German word?
Every day, guys.
Is that a German word?
Every day.
Is that a German word? Because that makes me think of other things, too.
Oh, my God.
Flares up, man.
I don't know what to do. This guy is just going to be, I'm going to end up karate chopping him. It's just going to be us and me and y'all.
As we move into the next topic.
As we move into the next topic.
There we go.
Now, loyalty and respect. Let me finish. Are they the same? And are they given or earned? Yeah.
I feel like,
see how he's thinking now? We got them wheels a turning now.
I feel like there's different ways to look at it.
There's gonna be, of course. That's why I brought this up.
So loyalty and respect, definitely not the same thing.
Definitely not the same.
Loyalty to me is something you will always get because that's a you. I feel like loyalty is what you give. Respect is what you earn. Like you will always have loyalty from me. But decisions you make affects how respect is given.
And I'm with you with that because I'm all about respect is earned for me. If you're talking about if you respect someone, yeah, like once they earn it. Yeah. I'm not going to automatically respect you just because of who you are.
Like I'll be loyal. I mean, that's like point blank. I'm all about supporting my circle. Like if I need, I'll pay more money.
Hi, I'm Circle.
Well, but I'm all about I will pay more money to go support my buddy's business.
Oh yeah.
You know, like
oh no, yeah.
Like loyalty within your circle because I'm asking and hoping for that. Like they need a gun thing,
right?
Send them my way.
I scratch your back, you scratch.
Exactly.
Mine. I'm with you.
But respect is one of those things. Like, okay, he screws over my truck. You know, it's a mechanic, and I take my truck there. You screw over my truck, like now you've lost my respect because you've taken for granted my loyalty.
Yes. I mean, I like the way you worded that. But as I'm staring at the words loyalty and respect, like my brain can't seem to find a good, like, cohesion. Like, respect is something that I could not like you, but respect you.
But I also feel like
I would have to like you to be loyal to you.
But I also feel like respect is a two-way street where loyalty is a one-way.
No, how so?
I will always be loyal because at the end of the day, I control that. Like, prime example, I'm doing what I do. People hit me up all the time, gun recommendations, training recommendations. Hey, I need to get my this, whatever. And then I see online they went somewhere else. Or they bought a gun somewhere else, you know, back when I had my shop. Like, okay, cool. That doesn't bother me. Because loyal, I will always, you hit me up anytime, I will always be that helpful instructor. And that's me being loyal. Like, I can always give that. But respect, that's one of those things, again, it's a two-way street.
See, I don't know.
Because you screw me over, am I going to answer those questions at 2 a.m.? Am I going to help you on a holiday? You know, am I going to stop a class to answer a question for you? That's more respect, where I think loyalty is more, that's all on you.
I don't know, man. I don't know what it is. I keep struggling with this.
I mean, we can go a lot of directions with that.
When we try to break it down. No, it's just, okay, then what holds more weight to you, respect or loyalty?
Respect all day.
Because
you don't have to be loyal to me, but you do have to respect me.
Wait, are you personally talking to me, or are you talking to
anybody
in general?
Like, I don't care you go elsewhere, but respect, because now respect, we're talking about what do you talk about? How do you refer to me? Like, how do you tell people about me? What do you say about me? Like, that's a respect thing. And to me, respect is one of those things, like, I will always be loyal, no problem. Because you will never be able to say, I wasn't there for you.
Right.
But it doesn't mean that I have to bust my ass, and that circles back to the respect aspect.
Okay, I mean, your analogy is great. Your explanation is great. I wasn't really seeing it that way, but your explanation does make me lean a little more towards what you're saying. But I don't know if I could. Me personally, when I am out in public, I could give two shits if you respect me or not. But if I am out in public with you or something.
But you do though. Hold on though. I would challenge that. If I walk up to you and say, fuck you, you piece of shit, am I disrespecting you? Are you going to allow that?
No, definitely not going to allow that.
But if you give me a business card and you see where I went and did business elsewhere, that's a lack of loyalty.
Oh, now I'm with you. That was a better analogy. This man's great with analogies if you don't know. We do it every morning, and he always seems to help my brain figure out how to get to where we go. But that's a great analogy. That makes more sense as far as how you define loyalty.
Like you start talking crap to me in front of my family. You start disrespecting me in front of my wife, my kid. We got problems. But if you're, oh man, I love what you do. Like next time I take a class, I'm going to take it with you. And then I see you off with Joe Blow. I don't care. That means nothing to me.
Hey, Joe Blow can't shoot for shit.
That's right.
All right. I can see that. We're going to move on because I feel like we can sit there and talk about that shit all day.
Okay, fair enough.
My favorite topic of the day, Brian.
Always. What we got?
I don't know if it was your favorite topic from last week, but we definitely got some people going. Now, I need y'all to understand something, all right? I wasn't sitting here saying that I honestly and truly believe that the earth is flat.
Oh, God, here we go.
All I am saying.
You got my wife worked up, by the way.
Is that, I know. She went into the whole Noah fucking research and all kinds of shit.
You got her worked up.
All I am saying is nothing can be proven. Now, I understand. There's science out there that says this. There's science out there that says that. I get that. But these are just people who are called experts. And if you start deep diving into how information becomes from general knowledge to fact, these would be the people you have to go through. So
well, I think a good way to look at that is just because it's what we've always said doesn't make it right.
No, the reason I would argue it is because when you start watching shit, right, and you find these people who start finding these books from the 1600s, the 1700s, the oldest encyclopedia known to man, they're talking about the firmament. They're talking about the belief that the earth may be enclosed some way, somehow. And then all of a sudden, because we're telling you that we can send satellites to space and give you image renderings that's space. And that's space. I don't know that for sure. I can't Superman up to that motherfucker and see if there's actually nothingness around us. That's all I'm saying.
I feel like there's been too much proven false at this point. But
almost
every theory has to be retested at this point.
Everything has to be questioned right now. That's where I'm at. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We need to, right now, I feel we're not getting the truth on anything.
But I also feel like, how can you, and I know this kind of becomes a double-edged sword, because of AI and because of big business involvement and stuff. You know, like you and I have had conversations about like somebody comes out and invents an engine that runs on water.
And then all of a sudden they're poisoning.
Is big oil, do they have enough involvement, enough power, enough reach to shut something like that up?
Fuck yes. Yes.
So now when you start looking at institutions, you know, like I was reading an article the other day. It was the craziest thing in the world to me. Dragon Ball Z.
Hey,
and you know...
Don't be respecting...
Hold on.
Don't be disrespecting
I'm
Dragon Ball Z, bro. All my anime fans out there, shout out.
Dragon Ball Z, you're a grown child. But anyways, Dragon Ball Z, I am a firm believer, or the article I was reading, it's became a business. Because there's too many industries tied into the image of Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, yeah.
So the original cartoon, when the guy who created Dragon Ball Z finally got to where he's like, I've told the story. I'm done. Corporations had to step in.
And be like, no, we not.
And basically say, we have entire networks.
Oh, yeah.
We have entire merchandising. We have entire things that are tied into Dragon Ball Z.
They just put up a new one on Hulu, I think it was. If y'all haven't checked it out,
the guy,
Crunchyroll.
I think it's like 2 or 3 years ago, the guy who created it died.
Yeah, he died. Very sad story.
And they literally, now they have like hired writers to continue the Dragon Ball Z saga.
Okay.
Because too much money is tied into that image.
Right. I questioned that before too.
So now when you say, okay, cool, the earth is flat, or space isn't real, or any of these conspiracy theories, look at the amount of industries that are full-blown, all eggs in that basket.
I understand.
Where if you were to challenge that, those industries would fall.
Right, but see, my only
So how can we trust even modern research on any of them.
That is my thing, right? Didn't we think at one time Galileo thought certain things turned out to be wrong? Didn't we hear one time from some guy named Isaac Newton who thought a certain way he turned out to be wrong? Like, I'm just saying.
I love his cookies.
I'm just
Fig
saying,
Newtons.
perhaps
Delicious.
we are not getting the truth.
Yeah.
So I like to dig into the little conspiracies that are all over the place and really dive into it.
And I'm not going to lie. So, it's being open-minded enough to be willing to question.
And not only that, like, seeing it for what it is.
Who's the goofy black dude with the fro and the mustache who does all the scientist stuff?
Why he got to be goofy?
Neil
deGrasse Tyson.
deGrasse, there you go, that guy.
No, not Degrassi. Neil,
whatever. So he did a thing on
The disrespect.
Masterclass. And part of the promo for it was the differences between being smart enough to know you don't know a topic. I'm wording it and I'm hacking it bad.
No, but I see
but
what
there's
he's
something to
trying
be said
say.
for that.
Right.
Like being smart enough to know, like, I don't know this shit.
Right, and having the ability to say that
The
I don't know.
humbleness.
Right, the humbleness. Thank you. Right, being able to humble yourself, be like, you know what? I don't know this information. I'm not gonna be able to share anything on this topic because I don't know shit.
Now the flip between me and El Oso here, he allows it to consume his life.
No lies.
Lies.
That's a lie.
I look at the concept of the Earth being flat versus round, and go, so how does that affect my today? And it doesn't.
Remember that meme
and
I
it
told you?
doesn't at all.
There's this meme that's circling around out there, right? It's this dude that's trying to explain why he thinks the Earth is flat, and he's explaining it to his wife, and his wife goes, "I don't give a shit whether the Earth is flat or round. Is that gonna pay my bills?" Like, that's where Brian relies, and I understand. I just like to explore.
He goes down rabbit holes for hours.
I'm gonna give you another one. You ready for this?
Here we go.
All right, right. So apparently, if you were to fly as far as north as you can, what are you gonna run into? Stay with me now.
The North Pole.
And what's up in the North Pole?
Santa Claus.
Don't do this to me right now. Stay fucking with me. What is north?
The North Pole.
Brian, I will stab you with this cigar in the eyeball.
Snow.
And what produces snow? There's a big old wall. You run into ice. Because you're dumb, and I'm going to help you get there. You go as far west as you can.
You've been watching too much Game of Thrones.
Listen to me. The only reason I made this correlation is, again, I went down this rabbit hole.
Of Game of Thrones.
And you start to wonder, hey, man, if you go all the way south, what do you run into? If you go all the way east, what do you run into? So if you play along and you just...
Whoa. If you go all the way east, you eventually do a full rotation of the Earth.
Right, but the way they're telling us...
So you don't run into anything. It's infinite.
Stay with me now, right?
Technically, going all the way north, you eventually start going south.
If you take the idea of a globe...
Okay.
And just for argumentative sake, people, right? You flatten that shit out, right? Stay with me.
Okay.
No matter where you go is ice, right? So me and my wife ran down this rabbit hole, and it is a rather interesting story. Imagine for a second, there are always these powerful families in all these stories. There are 7 families, okay? And Constantine is said one of them families.
Okay.
He lives beyond the wall, right? And beyond the wall is craziness. Now, again, this is all a story. I'm not saying this is fact. I'm just saying from the rabbit hole I dived down, and it was just a fun rabbit hole to dive down because it was interesting, right? So say there is life beyond this supposed ice wall.
Okay.
And within this is like concentric circles. And it numbers out to 7, which represents the 7 families that run said entire circle.
So you're talking about like the inside of a tree.
Right. Okay. Just keep that in your head, right? Now, the very furthest outer ring, that would be the side that is most away from the sun, if the sun is in fact in a central area, because the Earth is flat. Anyways, right? The sun is over here, this way, 7th circle all the way over there, right? If life exists beyond the wall, again, this is all just fun and games. We're beyond the wall, right? First ring is where Constantine lives. That's his family. He rules over this. He is a genius mathematician. He knows how to rule his people.
Yeah.
Every family rules a ring after, right? The seventh family that was in the outside ring began retreating into the inner rings, saying that there is some type of creature attacking them, right?
Okay.
So.
Would we be that creature?
No, listen, stay with me. Okay. So, the outer ring is away from the sun. So, if life was able to be produced in a barren landscape with barely any sunlight, what would these people look like? If they were able to survive and thrive, what would they look like, right? They might be pale skinned. Their eyes might be more better to adjust to darkness because they don't fuck with sunlight. They might not like sunlight because they live most of their life in darkness. But they're strong as fuck. You know what I'm saying? So they start massacring the families. Word gets back to Constantine that these people exist in the outer ring. They start moving everyone inward. He finds the inner wall where we are, and it is an untouched landscape. He decides to use it to his advantage. He sends a whole bunch of orphans and everything over there to begin to populate the inner circle while he reinforces around it to keep whatever said people that are killing everybody out. He throws his descendants in here to run the world, which is within this ice wall. Again, just a story. And that is where we are at in today's day and age. Rockefeller being one of the said families. Obviously, they have their hands in fucking everything.
Hatfields, McCoys.
No, well, come on. Now you're making fun of it. But just any famous family that's been out there. Rockefellers. What are the other major ones that have always had money?
J.P. Morgan.
Morgans. You know what I'm saying? Like, just whatever popular names that are supposedly the 8 families that run the world. You know, the 1%ers. They're supposedly the descendants of the descendants of the descendants.
The 1% of the 1%.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So it was just a fun little theory to be like, what if there was life out there? They found our world and was on some whole shit, untapped land, untapped resources, untapped workforce. And though we see it as our world and space out there, the real reality, again, this is just for fun and giggles, the real reality would be that we are just one big cog in a machine that we have no idea exists. So when we get to the whole like Antarctica shit, like why ain't we searching beyond the wall? Why can't we go beyond it? I do think there's some sketchy shit going on. Why is the military telling you can't be in certain areas? Why is Antarctica bigger than the size of the United States, but we can only search a fraction of a portion of said area? I'm just saying, why not question it? That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying the earth is actually flat. I'm not saying these fucking creatures in a 7th ring somewhere actually exist.
But you're also not saying it's not flat.
But I'm also not saying it's not true. You know, it's a possibility. It's all I'm saying. It's fun to think of possibilities because possibilities are endless.
It's a thought experiment.
Yes. Just give your brain an exercise. Because at the end of the day,
when you're trying to pay your mortgage at the first of the month next week,
it's fucking good.
Does it matter if the earth is flat or the earth is round?
Right. You're right.
But instead of worrying about paying that bill, now you got to worry about cogs and concentric rings.
Look at you. You're even stumbling. Again, they're just fun stories. You can go out there. There are plenty of conspiracy theory stories out there that everyone thinks it's true. Inner Earth is another one. See, this one I think is true because we can't really prove if it's lava and shit in the center.
This is the one Melissa went all in on against.
I know. I feel like you ever watch King Kong? Y'all ever seen King Kong? They go. I'm not saying
there's enough
like
earth
inner Earth down at the center of our so-called sphere.
There's
is
enough
inner
Earth in between the inner Earth and the ocean, and that's why it's cold. That's what she doubled down on.
No, we're not even going there. Okay, we're moving on.
I'm just saying, Melissa.
King Kong society.
You worked her up.
Again, I'm not saying it was real.
My wife lost sleep
fun to think about. It's fun to just let your mind imagine, imagine a world that if you didn't have sunlight, what the fuck would you look like? Imagine a world that some powerful entity that, let's be honest, is happening to us today. The 1%ers are running everything. The billionaires tell everybody else what the fuck to do. That's not too far-fetched. That maybe there's something above the billionaires telling the billionaires what the fuck to do. That's not too far-fetched to me.
I think it's funny that people believe that the left and the right are two separate things?
Different wings of the same bird, people. Different wings of the same bird.
And they all break bread from the same loaf.
But that was just, I wanted to explain to you.
Do we want to get political on this?
Not really, because I told you, the more I got into looking at politics, the more I wanted to get away from it.
We're going to stay away from politics.
But it was just because it's not so much that I'm left or right or blue or red, or I'm more conservative.
Yeah.
The conservative idea
we're not
of
blue or
life. The nuclear. Now, if you want to
I'm red, white, and blue, baby.
Conservatism with fucking the right, that's on you. I'm not sitting here claiming anything.
Here's a random thought for you. No other country do you identify who you are by another country.
Please explain for the dumb ones.
Think about that. Like, people ask, what's my heritage? Well, I'm Sicilian. No, I'm American. That's the reality. I'm American. You never go to England and hear of American British. You never go to England and hear of Korean British. No, they're British. And guess what? If they're black as night, from another country, family, but born in England, guess what they go as? British. But here in America, because we are hell-bent on dividing each other.
Yeah, that's true. That's why there is the left and right.
But is that the curse of being a country of immigrants? And that's something you got to ask yourself.
See, you want to get political anyway, huh?
But instead of letting the differences be what makes us great, we allow those differences to be what divides us. And I'll leave your politics at that. Next topic.
That's a hell of a bombshell to leave and then be like, next topic. Because again, if you do some research, you'll see that there are things that if you're all one side or the other, you really need to do some research on both sides. Like, just know.
I agree with things on both sides, believe it or not.
What the general plan was for how to secure certain votes a certain way and what to do and all that. And if you would go dive in and see how fucking vindictive it was.
At the end of the day, I'm American. And I will bleed on the flag to keep those stripes red.
Oh, I'm with you on that.
I don't know what I'll do to make the blue blue, but I will make the red red.
I can show you how to make some blue.
I don't know what you're doing. Homeboy's playing with Smurfs or something. I don't know what the hell he's doing over here.
No, nothing like that. Just no, hold on. I want to sit on this topic for just a second because my biggest problem with this is
hey, and we got the perfect viewer for this. Our Canadian.
Oh, hey, Nina.
What up, girl?
Actually, she is coming back from Canada saying Canada's getting pretty damn ridiculous up there. And she's ready to make her way back to Florida.
Hashtag screw Trudeau.
It's not Trudeau anymore.
I know that, but he started that.
Yeah, he
put him down that.
He did.
He is the equivalent of our Obama. Because I'm sorry, Obama is what started us.
You said
down
you
a weird place.
Get political.
Okay, then I won't get political.
Right.
I said next topic.
Yeah, but you're kind of switching me up now. All right.
I got too much bourbon in me to worry about this.
Fine.
Go ahead.
We're moving along.
We are drinking Buffalo Trace, and I am smoking Espinosa today, by the way.
Yeah, getting all fancy with the cigars. And just to let y'all know, as of next week, I am going to attempt, again, I say attempt, to quit smoking cigarettes. I would try to bring myself along to the cigar side a little more often just to get
trying to refine them.
Tobacco niche out the way.
Trying to
make
help
things
him
more
hit manhood.
difficult for myself.
Trying to help him hit
more
manhood.
Enjoyable for my heterosexual life man over here. I have given him permission.
That's right. I'm training him. Grooming him.
See, now I don't want to explain what I was about to explain. Because you make it seem like I'm your goddamn lapdog. Like, God damn it, Brian. Anyways, I have given him permission that if he, for some chance, after said agreed day, he sees me with a cigarette, he has permission to karate chop that shit out of my hands.
Yeah.
As a further deterrent.
Yeah.
In my attempt to quit smoking cigarettes. So if you want to tag
and
along,
I get to give them a purple nurple.
if you are a cigarette smoker out there that is trying to quit and you want to tag along, I will give you updates. I will let you know if I fail and when I fail, if it happens. I do feel like this little avenue is going to help me at least kick the inhalation of tobacco. And then we're going to...
Well, aren't you doing toothpicks?
We're going to kind from go... Right, so I am going to do the little menthol flavored toothpicks just to, oral fixation thing. But, just to knock it out. See if I can help myself not get that problem.
You just offended 2% of the community.
My heart weeps.
When you yelled gay.
For the Alphabet Mafia and all their feelings.
How dare you?
No. Again, we're not getting political, Brian. So
no politics.
No politics. Now, I did pose a question to Brian, and I want to bring it up to you guys. And Kimmy, if you're still on there, it would be awesome to get your point of view because you actually are a bowler. I wanted to bring a little other side of things. I know we like to stay on the political side of things, and we didn't want to, or the manly side of things. I had told Brian that I believe that I can turn him into a actual bowler.
Oh, here we go.
Like a legitimate, at least 150-ish average bowler. Now, you have to understand, Brian has had knee surgery, so his finishing leg for being right-handed cannot be his left leg.
Yep.
Because that's too much pressure for him to be, he don't want to fuck up a good
So
surgery.
my Mortal Kombat finishing move would be all screwed up.
So if there's bowlers out there, Ray, I see you on here, a fellow bowler as well, you know what I'm saying? Finishing off on the opposite leg of your throwing hand is the natural way you should be finishing. So if I'm right-handed, my left foot is the last foot that's on the ground when I go into my swing. I am telling him that even though he has the problem with his knee, I can teach him to get up towards the foul line, set himself up with his left leg in the lead, but use both his legs on his swing. And he will be able, because I feel he is strong enough and big enough, be able to generate enough power to get the ball down the lane.
300 plus pounds of swinging steel and sex appeal, baby. Hoof!
Now, if you've seen him bowl compared to seeing me bowl, you will obviously see a difference. But I am telling him that I can get him better, and he is just nervous on the knee, which I understand. But I am telling him I would much rather him finish the correct way and just have his right leg kind of be the support until he releases, rather than finishing on his right leg, right arm.
I will post this eventually on Insta or on YouTube. And if we get, I'll even keep it 50. Comment under the video, strike. And if we get 50 strikes,
you're going to get it here.
I'll learn how to bowl.
You're going to get it here right now, guys. Spread the word real quick. Hey, jump on this podcast real quick and just write the word strike.
We got 2 people watching live. We ain't going to get 50.
Oh, that sucks.
That's right.
I don't give a fuck who's watching.
Even after the live, if we get all the platforms, if we get 50 strikes, I'll learn how to bowl.
We're going to make it happen, people. We'll get it there. Don't worry about it. I'm not so much worried about the views as of right now. I'm more worried about people that come to chime in, even if you stop in for 5 minutes.
Oh.
I appreciate you.
Here we go. The first comment from my wife.
Oh, boy. Why?
Don't you spend enough time with him. Now you want to bowl with him, too.
Well,
wow.
Okay. Hold on. We've talked about this before. She does have a point. I do spend more time with him than I do my wife. I do. We work together.
And I do claim to be a family man. I like to spend a lot of time with my wife and kid. But, babe, bowling is something that we could get the family into.
Yeah, maybe.
Take that for what it's worth.
Take that for what it's worth. I mean,
Jody already commented strike. She's our first strike.
Oh, yeah. No, well, Jody's in the process of learning herself. She bowls with me on Sundays. We're bowling on a Sunday.
Well, she's relearning.
No.
She knew how to bowl.
She knew how to bowl, but now we're getting her into the more complex styles, right? And for you bowlers out there.
Melissa said nope.
I started my wife on plastic. Then I got it drilled to her hand with fingertips with a ball that had a little core in it just to give her some movement. Now we're getting her into a stronger core. She's going to grab the purple and Black Widow.
Oh, that girl needs a stronger core.
Babe, it's not me. It's him.
Love you,
boo.
You
can come out and stab him whenever you want. I know you're watching.
Love you, boo.
But I just wanted to, bring it up, at least to change the subject to a different topic, something a little more on the personal side as far as for me. Brian is there with me when I bowl. He helps me do my bowling videos. we were the one that kind of came up with this idea as we were working on just giving me some videos to learn about myself. I'm a very visual learner. I feel like if you just show me how the job is done, I can get the job done. So if I'm seeing what I'm doing wrong, I can change it.
And actually you've taken a lot of lessons from your ability to break down bowling, and you've applied that to you instructing as a shooting instructor.
Speaking of which, and my man over here is giving me the advantage of getting some OJT in, learning how to teach classes for the D class. And I've been doing pretty well at that.
That is correct.
Shout out to any of my students out there if they're actually watching. I'm sure they're not, because
I've been fighting a little bit of an ear infection.
Oh,
and
stop the press. Let's go over this shit real quick.
And as a result, it made me lose hearing. To the point where literally, if I'm not making eye contact,
he don't hear you.
I don't hear you. Today is actually the first day in probably about a week that I'm doing a lot better.
And if you have noticed, not only for the camera views, but for the fact that he couldn't fucking hear, I needed him closer to me because this is his good ear.
Yeah. And this is my ear that has tinnitus.
So my issue has been with this for the last, 3 days now?
Yeah. All weekend.
Since Father's Day. We're at his house for Father's Day. I've got him a dope-ass little miniature 1911 America style. Because I'm awesome.
Pretty gangster.
Went to go drop it off to him. We're sitting there having dinner with the fam. I'm trying to talk to him. His eyes are on his son because he purchased his son one of those Minions.
No. Melissa got the Minions fart gun for me.
Melissa. Oh, okay. So one of his Father's Day gift was a
My wife got me a Minions fart gun. Hashtag awesome wife.
Right. And with an additional trigger that when you hold it down, it builds up smoke so that when you pull the trigger, it shoots a smoke ring out of said gun.
It's pretty awesome.
So he was messing around with his kid with it. Obviously, his kid loves guns. It's his kid. Who to thunk it? He's looking at his kid. His wife is sitting next to him on the side of his bad ear. I am in front of him, but again, his eyes are not on me, and my wife is directly to his left. We are all talking about him. We are all thinking he hears us, and he's just not. He couldn't hear us to the point where the only reason he noticed is because we were all three busting out laughing, and he wanted to be in on the joke until he found out he was the joke.
Yeah.
Because the last 3 days, all I got for him was, "Huh? What? You know I'm deaf in this. Huh?" It's driving me insane. It really is.
So,
and I'm pretty loud.
Circling back, El Oso stepped up to the plate. And he took over instructing. And he has been killing the game.
Killing the game. One way we notice whether
all of
my
his students are
instruction
scoring great
is working is their test scores. That's what Ducky told me. I was asking him, hey, how do I know if my instruction is working? How do I know if the way I'm instructing is
easiest way? Are they retaining it? Are they able to regurgitate it onto a test?
And I was like, what do you mean? The way they retain the knowledge you are giving out to them will reflect on their test scores.
So Mr. Antisocial, come to find out, is a pretty kick-ass instructor, like I've been telling him.
No. I got no problem teaching. I got no problems being in a professional setting trying to give out information, especially when I got...
Even Melissa backed me up. I did hear you're doing pretty good teaching, El Oso.
Thank you.
I've been bragging about you.
I appreciate that. I am trying. And I do have my struggles. Again, I understand I am more of the ghetto variety than most. I get it.
Yeah, we had to tame down his hood.
So we gotta rein that pit bull in a little bit, get him trained.
Take the boy out of the hood, but you can't take the hood out of the boy.
Chomping at everybody. I'm only chomping at things I'm commanded to chomp at. So it's a learning process. I did tell him prior to this whole engagement that I am not a people person. I don't do well with others.
He's more than a people person than he gives himself credit.
If I am in a situation where I feel that I can instruct and the information I know and I'm comfortable with, I can give out information, no problem. So it was a learning process. Took some constructive criticism. I was able to take it in correctly and correct some things.
He didn't get all
right, which is I could have. But again, if you come at me with a problem that I don't like or that I'm not with you on, and you come at me with a logical reasoning behind it, I am more than capable of either changing my mind or adjusting my attitude because it logically makes sense to me.
Because we're men. And we can operate off logic.
Okay, but yes. And for the women out there to get mad about that, I don't know what to tell you. You go off emotion first. There are women that are with it. They are the exception, but I'm talking about the rule. Most women, I would go to say at least 90% of women usually go off emotion first. And for a man, for most men that I've spoken to, and I've spoken to a lot of men throughout my career, logic is usually the way we go first. We'll get to our emotions after we fix the problem.
Hey, blast from the past. West is on here.
Oh, what up, ultimate
Random stories.
So for those of you that don't know, the awesome woman that just joined on my live, Jermaine West, she used to be my female partner when I did prisoner transport.
And she is one of the baddest bitches.
I will take her any day, all day over any other officer, especially if I'm doing prisoner transport.
That's our girl West.
So when Ducky had left me, because he was an asshole, and decided to leave me to the wolves at prisoner transport, me and Jermaine started to work together, and I actually enjoyed it because now I could completely strip search a female. The problem me and Ducky would have a lot of times when we were on the road, we could not confirm that a female was properly strip searched because, again, we're dudes. We can't go in there and try to cup under titties without them.
And then we'd open the back of our van and some bitch be back there eating Skittles
and then we're finding that they had Skittles under their titties, their wires is still in their bras, and they're picking their fucking locks. And now we have an unsafe environment because whatever dumbass female at the goddamn jail didn't do her job. But to answer your question, Wes,
we are in the Daytona area. But hit us up. We'll hook you up. We'll take care of your daughter.
Come see me, girl.
Only if you come with her. Because I want to see your ass.
But yes, just random story. Great female. Awesome person. We rode together when Ducky left for at least about...
She wants us to teach her daughter how to shoot.
Oh, fuck yeah, girl.
Done and done.
Hey, both NRA pistol instructors.
Law enforcement
certified.
Instructor.
So, come see us. Come see us. It's good to hear from you, girl.
Love me some West.
Yes. And to real talk, now she was a good example of the exception. Yeah. When we talk about females who are built for a job, I would say most females are not built for prisoner transport.
West will throw down before 90% of males
West was the one female that I could ensure she was going to throw a bow to that bitch if she was getting out of pocket. And I had no longer had to worry about females because she was with me and she could take care of said female.
All day or day.
And that was the problem we had since we could never fully ensure that we had a safe environment when we had to go pick up females from jails or prisons or whatever it was. So, shout out to you, Wes. You're awesome.
You a bad mofo, Wes.
Thanks for stopping by.
Bad mofo.
Right. Hope you enjoy all the stuff we've been talking about. All right, Bri. So moving on to a little more smooth booty topic.
We're going back to the topics.
No. We're getting into a smooth booty topic. And for those of you that don't know, I learned this phrase when I came down to Florida. Smooth booty is what it sounds like. And what you're envisioning is a smooth booty. So and most of the time, that is on a soft person. I don't know anyone that's hard or that has a general sense of manliness
and soft
that would associate that with a smooth bottom. Shout out to my boy Dalton. He's the one who gave me the phrase. And if you're looking for a custom trike, he does Griffith Customs or Griffin Customs. My bad, I did it again. I apologize. I don't know. Yeah. Like Peter Griffin from the cartoon. He does gangsta ass custom trikes.
And you know what? I want to shout out my boy Double D.
Double D.
I call him Double D. Dalton, you are kicking ass with your new venture, brother. He sold his first custom bike, and he is riding that high, and I think that is the first of many to come. And as someone who started his business out of nothing, I see you at the early stages of where I was, and I think you're going to kick ass.
Congrats, my friend. We see the focus. We see how it gets you away from your, you know what I'm saying?
So if you're interested in a custom bike, one of those like trikes with like ape hangers.
Right.
And you want to cruise your neighborhood like a gangsta.
He has a pinup bike where it's all anime females that are throughout the design of the body frame of the bike. All are electric. You don't have to pedal at all. You can just sit there and ride.
Eventually I'm going to have them make one for me.
I have some in the works. You know what I'm saying? We're definitely going to have a few.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for that, go ahead and hit him up. He's on Facebook as well.
Double D!
Griffin, so check him out. But yeah, just things like that, right? We see people who are trying to better themselves. They want to venture out to new things. He has a passion for bikes and repairing them and making cool shit. And he starts his own business.
And that will be a common theme you see on this podcast. Surround yourselves with people that are always trying to better themselves. And Dalton is, to me, one of those people that I will wholeheartedly admit, if it wasn't for this man, because it's his neighbor. When I first met Dalton, he was not my cup of tea. But the more that I hung out around him, I realized he is just a squirrel chasing a nut. He just didn't know what nut to go after. And now he's found his nut. And he is chasing the shit out of it. And I respect the hell out of him.
Chase that nut, boy.
Chase that nut, Double D. Chase that nut.
That was good. Shout out to Double D, man. Hope you continue your success.
Griffin Customs. We're going to get him a freaking Facebook and Instagram soon.
Yeah. We'll hook y'all up.
And we'll be tagging his shit.
Post and where you can find him at. We had some business cards and stuff he's got, so I'll hook it up on the post.
And for all of your firearm training needs, this episode of Oso and the Duck is being sponsored by Don't Be a Sitting Duck.
All right, Bri.
All right.
You get to have a couple point of views of this because you are beginning to come into this role. I have already, in my mind, successfully completed one, and I'm in the process of successfully completing another, and that is the raising of a man.
Of a man.
So now, if y'all don't know, Ducky is in the beginning stages of that topic because his child is 2, about to be 3.
Yep. He'll be 3 on 9/11. He's my little terrorist.
I have 2 children. One is 19, one is 14. One is successfully in the military now, doing his own thing, purchased his first truck. Good on him. In my eyes, I feel I did what I needed to for my son.
You know what? Side question on that. What was your first vehicle?
So my very first vehicle was a Lincoln Continental 4-door. Oh, of course, you.
Beat to hell?
Nope.
It was in good condition?
Hunter green, and it had those dope low-ride, like, air-assisted shocks. So that when she was parked, she looked like a lowrider.
Did it ride like Uncle Buck's car?
No, listen to me, bro. When she turned on, not only did she rise, which was dope, because you could feel it if you hit wind to it when it was cold, but when you're driving on the road, it was literally like you didn't feel fucking anything.
My first vehicle was a 97 4-cylinder stick shift S10 pickup.
Oh, was that not the red one, right?
My red S10.
Yeah, I remember that one.
No. That was my Silverado.
That was red too, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the Red Dragon. That thing ran on hopes and dreams.
The Red Dragon.
I did not even contemplate having a new vehicle as my first vehicle. And your boy, his first car buying, he bought himself a brand new pickup truck.
Right? Remember, we kind of spoiled them.
And I will say, no, because I want to give him praise on that. Your boy saved his money.
He did.
And kicked ass.
Right. He showed me he had a goal in mind. He wanted a pickup truck. We started going over pickup truck selections. He narrowed down the one he wanted. Then he wanted it 4x4.
Like, I'm not even trying to talk shit. Like, he full blown.
Hey, I'm not going to lie. I'll give full credit to my son, too, right? I did want him to be the forefront. This is his decision. I was just co-signing to ensure that he gets whatever vehicle he wanted.
That's just bank financials.
Well, no, the only problem, right, is because he didn't have enough established credit yet. You know what I'm saying?
Because our credit system is so jacked up.
So jacked. But I don't want to go there with credit scores. So I was just there as the overwatch to ensure that he's not getting fucked over. But at the same time, as a father-son experience, as he transitions into being his own man, buying his own things.
He has a miniature version of his dad's truck.
Right. So he went and got a 2026 4x4.
I got to get a Don't Be a Sitting Duck sticker on that truck before he leaves.
Ford Ranger Sport.
And an Oso and the Duck sticker.
Oh,
you got to get both on there.
Yeah, we'll give him those.
And he ain't even getting to choose it.
They're going to do some traveling.
After we get done with this podcast, we're going to go out there and sticker his truck.
Yeah, after this week, he is going to make his way up to his duty station in South Dakota, where he begins. He's going to enjoy taking
a kid who grew up in Florida, and they're putting his ass in South Dakota.
Let him learn.
Let that snow come.
Hey, shout out to my boss, Charlie Morgan. Trial by fire is the best way to learn. Trial by fire.
Hey, South Dakota is where you and I were driving transport, and they came on the radio. Tomorrow's high will be -40.
Oh, yeah. Remember when I almost lost my shit? And I looked at you and said, we're not fucking working.
We're not going to be in this bitch tomorrow.
I will be in a hotel room 500 miles away from this bitch. I'm not going to be here.
No.
Anything under, like, I think the worst I've had in Chicago was like -17, -20, maybe.
-40.
No, I'm saying
when
I
lived there.
It was
going to be on the radio.
I remember. I'm sorry, what, -40? Like
40.
That reminds me of my military days.
And that's not Celsius.
Right. We were up in Minot, North Dakota for cold training. Cold. If you don't know what cold is, go visit Minot, North Dakota for a little bit. Tell me if you still enjoy the winter weather.
Kiss my ass.
Anywho, getting back
I don't live anywhere I can't wear flip-flops year-round.
Right. So, my question to you, Brian, you are in the beginning stages.
Okay.
What would you say is being the hardest part about being a dad that nobody talks about?
Minimizing outside influence.
Damn, that was fast. I thought you were going to fucking sit here and think about it for a second.
And I know this might ruffle a feather, even in my own castle, even with my wife. Because how I see things, of how I want my son raised, and how I see my mother do it, how I see my wife do it, how I see schools do it. Obviously, I have in my head the perfect world of what I think he should be raised like. But it's finding and picking my battles. Of like, you know what? I do not, like prime example.
I agree though.
Nothing breaks me more than when I look at a family at a restaurant and they're all sitting there. And I'll never forget, I think it was 3 years ago, we took my dad out. Yeah, because Melissa was pregnant. We took my dad out for Father's Day. And we went to Bahama Breeze on I-Drive. And a table across the walkway from us, it was a dad, I'm assuming his wife, and 3 kids. Kids were probably between the age of 6 and 15.
Okay.
All 5 of them, the entirety of them sitting there, they were on their phones the entire time.
See, yeah, that's a
never had a conversation with each other.
When we go out as a family, we tell our kids phones down. We're trying to conversate amongst our family. That's why we go out together. And
one of the biggest, hardest things that and I finally had to cave, because I get it. Again, we were talking earlier, service being slow at, restaurants and shit like that. He's a 2-year-old. He's going to get restless at a table.
Right.
I can't stand tablet kids. Kids that are sitting in a restaurant and the second they sit down, it's here's a tablet, shut the hell up. When my wife started putting Bluey or Cars or a movie, whatever, on for a little guy at a restaurant, it pissed me off. But I finally saw the need for it. And it took me a little bit to see the need for it. Because it turned into he's losing his mind because he's getting antsy.
Yeah.
So I would literally get up and take him outside and let him run around a little bit.
I could see that.
But then it just finally got to a point where it's like, we're never going to be able to go out to eat ever again.
Yeah.
So our rule now is we interact with them until the food comes. And then when the food comes, by then we've probably already fed him like enough stuff.
Right.
Where he's just picking.
Get him his meal earlier so that way we can sit and eat.
So now he can watch his movie and we can sit there and eat and enjoy our food.
Which is smart.
So that was a bridge I had to cross. But like prime example, like he went up to my mom's. He goes up to mom's all the time. Like some of the stuff that she lets him watch, I wasn't about. And so it's picking my battles of the outside influences. Because I can't always be there to say, no, I don't want him doing that. Like prime example, when we were looking at daycares, when it finally came time for us to get away from your mom watching them.
Yeah.
I literally put together an entire checklist and printed them out. And when we were going and looking at daycares and schools, and one of the things I asked was where do you guys stand on little Johnny identifies as a cat today? Are you going to force my son to meow at him?
Yeah, no shit.
Because that's a distraction.
Right.
Screw the politics, screw how you feel about that. That's a distraction from his education.
I agree.
So for me, I need to make sure the people that I'm trusting my son with, I'm okay with what they're doing around him.
Yep.
And even though I might not agree 100%, I'd like to be more than 70, 80, but I need to be at least over 50. And accepting that has been my hardest thing as a father. Because not that I'm saying I want to raise him like a Spartan warrior, send him out in the world to fight wolves and shit.
Right.
But the reality of it is, like...
That would be dope, dude.
It would be awesome. But at the end of the day, like, it's accepting those influences and realizing, like, once he gets a little bit older and starts talking more, like, he's going to talk to classmates and they're going to bring up things that I don't want him talking about or knowing about. And it's not a matter of sheltering him. It's a matter of, like, I don't think certain topics are appropriate until certain times. That's my own personal beliefs.
Right.
And the fact that other people's beliefs will inevitably be in front of him bother me.
But you can kind of control that at a young age. Outside of the daycare, unless you have the personal daycare, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I feel like at a younger age, you can kind of control that a little better than when they get...
Well, like, prime example, me nor my wife are very religious. We know your mother, very religious.
Very religious.
And when she started watching him, she asked us, very respectfully, do you mind him being around, like, I'm going to put a nursery rhyme on and it's about Jesus.
Yeah, it's going to be Christian nursery rhyme.
Christian radio or something like that. Yeah. And I told her, I got zero problem with that. Because I don't mind the influence of Christian values. I don't 100% agree with the Christian religion, but the value system I am 1,000% okay with. But as he gets older in other people's religions, for lack of a better term, their thought beliefs, their ways of looking at the world. Like, prime example, I remember having a conversation with you years ago. Like, the first time that your kids see two guys kissing. Yeah. How do you explain that?
Yeah.
And knowing that I'm not always by his side to be his filter.
Yeah, or his explainer on what the hell he's looking at.
And who's going to explain that, and do I agree with how they explain it?
How they explain it.
That has probably been my biggest struggle.
See, I think that's something you've dealt with more than I'd had to deal with my kids.
Yeah, the world's a little different now than 20 years ago
when Joseph was born. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't as bad as it is now as far as pushing people's beliefs onto others. Like, I have no problem with how you want to live your life.
Yeah.
But when you start trying to push it, especially onto my kid, like now I have an issue. Because I know the way I want to raise my child.
Well, like last podcast we talked about, just because I don't agree or support your community doesn't mean I hate you.
Right.
And equally, like, my son, I want him part of my belief system. Yeah. But he's going to be exposed to other people's belief systems. And how he interprets it is ultimately on him. I can only hope and trust that the values and the open-mindedness that I have taught him guide him to interpret it the right way. It's probably the best way I kind of look at that.
That was probably the greatest thing. I didn't think you were going to come with that quick with fucking things. Now I'm over here thinking like, the only thing I can really think of is
just tell you last week?
It's more
all day, every day, my goal is to be a better father. That's all I ever think about.
Yeah.
See, how do I be a better husband? How do I be a better father? How do I be a better brother? How do I be a better businessman? Like, literally, that is my hierarchy. Because all of those is what makes me a better man. See, that's kind of a little side way how to look at that. Too many people worry about how they are as a man. I worry about how I am as the different labels and allow those labels to create the man I am. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, part of me being a man,
create the
there's pillars. All these pillars hold up what I am as a man. So what is my ability as a father? What is my ability as a husband? What is my ability as a friend and brother? What is my ability as a provider to the world? And that's kind of the way I look at my business. Like, I take to heart, we train people to protect people.
Right.
I take that to heart. So I, at the end of the day, chalk up what I do for a living as a good to the world. Like, call me noble, call me overzealous, whatever you want to call it. But I do think there's a nobility in what I teach. And inspiring people to protect themselves and protect others. Like, I've had a couple times over the years where I've had students come back to me. And like one incident that appears out to me is that I had a concealed student. She was in a Dollar General, and this guy was at the register, I guess, starting to really act a fool. And she literally told me, in the back of her head, she could hear me yelling at her, "Is it worth being around?" And she literally sat down what she was buying and walked out of the store. She then, that night on the news, that guy pulled out a gun and shot the clerk.
Oh,
and she was there 30 seconds before it happened.
Jesus.
And
see, that's that women intuition shit. See, y'all go for something.
And she literally told me point blank, if it wasn't for hearing you in my head, I would have been standing there.
That's a little crazy.
And like, not trying to say I'm awesome. Like, that's not me trying to stroke ego by no means.
He is awesome, by the way.
But the reality of it is, like, that was a moment where I was like, what I do is worth it. You know, like we were talking with our boss about this podcast. And we were making the comment, like, if all the effort we put in the podcast helps one person not stare down the barrel of a gun, not give up on being a man, not give up on being a dad, then it's worth it. And we might never know that it was worth it.
Right.
But the possibility makes it worth it.
Oh, Brian, I think my mic. Oh no, it's still there. Never mind.
There you go.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Anyways, for me, is what I was saying is, once I knew I was having sons, I became very I began to critique everything I did, everything I was doing, and everything I was gonna attempt to do. And it made a difference between if it was gonna be girls I was having compared to boys. And now we talked about this last podcast too, right? Like the fact that I knew that these boys are eventually gonna be men.
Yeah.
I have to instill man values in them in their upbringing so
now
that
it's
they
not
can
just values.
understand why you have these morals, why you have these values.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if I had a girl, I'm not going to lie to you, I would lean more on my wife for the upbringing because that's her world. That's her body parts. That's her frame of mind and the way of thinking.
Well, and it could be argued you married her because you agree with how she is. So you would trust her to put those values into the next generation.
I married this woman, so if anyone I'm going to trust in bringing up a daughter would be the woman I married. But what I'm saying is, even as a father, if we had girls instead of boys, I would rely more on my wife for guidance because I don't know how the hell a girl's feeling in teenager. I know how my boys are feeling. Yeah. I know what it's like to have that morning wood. I know all about that.
Where's our lighter at?
But I don't know all about first time you get that drip down your leg, what that feels like, how you know when it's... I don't know anything about that. So I would have to lean on my wife. But the fact that I knew I was going to have sons, I started to scrutinize myself.
Well, like my mom brought up, my mom commented, "Mama, I love you, Mama.
Hey, Mama.
Keep the door open so he'll come to you to discuss." And that was one thing very big for me as a kid. And, you know, my parents got divorced when I was young. My mother always treated me as an equal in the home. Like, it was never that you're the kid to be seen, not heard.
Right.
Like, we're moving. How does this make you feel?
And I'm with you.
Like, she was always open. Like, I never felt like there was a door to be opened. I never felt like there was limitations into how open I could be with her. And I want my son to feel that same way.
Well, see,
like, I don't care how embarrassing it might be. I don't care how weird it might be. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, but not only that, I just feel like both of us, for different reasons, our examples of fathers from our fathers weren't the greatest examples. So we had to look elsewhere at times.
I had amazing father figures, though, in my life.
So, right. But what I would tell people is, right, for those of you that do not know, right, in my youth, I had a lot of daddy issues. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't really figure out things when I was growing up until I started to kind of make my own way as a man. And learning the decision-making and things you do and the sacrifices you make may not always be seen. And that's another thing that's a hard part, especially for new fathers out there and stuff. The sacrifices you will make for your family from here on out will be as invisible as the air you breathe. But that does not mean you should stop just because you're not getting said fucking flowers from whoever you think you're supposed to be getting them from.
I know it sounds crappy, and it's a really bad way to look at it, but I do think there's a truth to it. Our happiness is irrelevant. And our happiness is now balanced upon their happiness.
Well,
And
we
I
talked
don't know,
about
maybe
that
that's
last
the way I look at
podcast
it.
too, right? I wasn't a big fan of the whole happy wife, happy life. No, it should be happy house means a happy spouse. That's what the fuck you should be saying. Because I should not be dedicated to my wife's happiness to ensure that my life is happy. It should be a general consensus between both husband and wife.
Well,
they're going to work together for each other's happiness.
I would argue her ultimate happiness is on her. She needs to find her happiness. But am I providing my part where she can never come to me and say, you're the reason I'm not happy?
Yeah,
I think there is a balancing act there. Yeah.
We're saying the same thing. I want her to be happy with what she's doing, but I want her to be happy within herself because she feels that way.
Robert Goose says, what's up?
What up, Rob? Yeah, that's my guy I used to work with.
Oh, hi, guy he used to work
Shout out. That's actually the guy someone he wants to do the training with. We talked about that before. But anyways, thank you for stopping by. But yes, so my biggest thing, especially when it comes to raising sons, like it changes your whole frame of mind. Like when I tell the story of my firstborn.
Let me cut you off for a second. Do you feel having sons, once you found out you were having a son, it made you put how you act as a man in check?
What do you mean in check?
For me, when I found out I was having a son, it motivated me to be a better man. Even though I already considered myself a pretty manly man.
Right, no, but that's what I'm saying. Like, even though, same thing, right? I felt like I was...
But do you feel like you cleaned up your act?
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah.
But at the same time, because if I knew I was... Now, granted, I probably would have cleaned up my act if I had girls too. But the way in which I cleaned my act up would have been different if they were girls. The fact that I had boys, I understand that I am now their visual on what a man looks like until they go out into the world.
Yeah.
So I am their example until they see whether or not in the real world if I was a good dad or not. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to instill in my kids, even though I get it all the time, people say you're rough on your children. Yes, I was rough on my children. I did bring them up in a fair but firm household because I understand that after a certain age, they're no longer a kid in society's eyes. He will always be my child, whether I'm 90 and he's 60. I don't give a shit about that. But what I'm saying is to the world, after 18, he is now an adult. He should now have the proper tools from his parents to navigate the world. And unfortunately, with this day and age, not a lot of kids at 18 know how to navigate the world.
Yeah.
So even though I may have been a little rougher than most, or in people's opinion towards how I raised my son, look at my son. Not only is he serving his country, he is in an awesome career field that's going to have benefits outside of the military. He saved his money properly because we taught him about how to deal with his finances when he was younger. We used to give him quarters. 25 cents represented something. 25 cents was an hour TV. 25 cents was an hour outside. Or you can read a book and save your money. That man used to have like $9 saved up because all he used to do was read books. So you can say what you want about how I was with my kids, about how, I had to give them a slap in the face for being disrespectful. You can say what you want. In the grand scheme of it all, on the back end, when I'm old and gray and I'm looking at what I produce in the world, I promise you that's a fucking man. I promise you.
You know the other thing you did with your kids? And I was watching a podcast a while back, and it really resonated with me. And I'm grateful for how my family was with me because of it. Manners. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, sir.
I mean, listen,
I don't know. And here's why. Opportunities will be given to a more polite person.
Yeah, but hear me out for a second, right? I don't know who the fuck started this trend where it was like, oh, sir is my father.
No.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man?
Sir is every man you speak to.
Sir is every man you speak to, regardless of if they're under my age or over my age.
But the reality there is people of power. Or, you know what, even outside, prime example, I used to let your son come to the range, work with me. I mean, I literally have him helping me show people how to shoot.
Right.
Would I do that with a kid that every time I walk in the door, it's, what up, bro?
Yeah. No regrets.
No regrets, dude. Like, no.
I hope y'all got some movie buffs out there that got that reference.
He literally was a senior in high school getting to tell his friends, my job is I'm an RSO, a range safety officer at the range with my uncle.
And I teach people older
like how many
than me.
17-year-olds get to say, I'm showing grown men how to shoot?
Yeah. Instead of being at McDonald's learning how to deep fry your
who's going to give an opportunity like that to the impolite individual? Especially an impolite man.
I'm with you. This is what I've been trying to tell the world, especially when they give me shit about how the way I raise my kids. Like,
and when I look at,
like, you may see it as rough, but I see it as building someone who's going to be respectful, who's going to appreciate that, you know, what he's got, and he's going to be able to hold his responsibilities together.
And like being around cigars. I've been in cigar shops sitting there. We were talking about this the other day. Cigars are the modern day campfire, where people get around a campfire, they shoot the shit, all groups come together. That's what cigar shops are. I'm a firm believer in that. Yeah. I have done more networking and met more interesting characters of all levels in cigar shops. And I mean, I remember being a 21-year-old sitting in cigar shops with multimillionaires.
Yeah.
With people that owned Fortune 500 companies. But because I was polite, hey, sir, what are you smoking?
Yeah.
Hey, man, you don't need to call me sir. My name's Steve. You know, but because I had that demeanor,
I'm with you.
I could conversate with those kind of people and hold my own.
I'm with you.
But if I walked up to that Fortune 500 CEO like, what up, bro? What you smoking?
What you got there, coachie?
How would that conversation have gone?
Get away from me, please.
Yeah. I would have been cast aside.
Security, get him out of here.
But instead, I mean, I was invited to these guys' houses. Yeah. You know, they're throwing Christmas parties, and I'm over at their houses breaking bread and surrounding myself with people that make millions of dollars.
How about the billionaire you didn't know you were sitting next to enjoying a cigar?
Yeah. You know,
you're right.
And that's the reality. You know, but again, if you don't have basic social skills that surrounds being polite, having manners, respect, I don't think you'll ever have that opportunity.
See, that's why, just to give a call back to what we're talking about with the military, that's another reason why I feel like the men should go. It teaches you why camaraderie is important.
Yeah.
And then it teaches
brotherhood.
You how to network. It teaches you how to know within your troops who's good at what, how to delegate, who's going to be better at what. Hey, you're good at this, do this. Hey, you're good at that, do that. Hey, I'm good at this, I'll do that. Learning how to work together. Learning consequences.
Yeah.
Like, that was my thing with my children. Whether they went to the military or not, they were going to learn about consequences and repercussions. For sure. Every action has a reaction.
Yeah.
And you're going to learn from it. So you can give me all the shit you want, but now that one of my children are grown in my eyes, he is an adult making his own adult decisions. I feel like he's doing great. He's a B-1 bomber crew chief. He just bought a brand new truck with his own money. I'm sorry, what are your 18-year-olds doing? What are your 19-year-olds doing? What are the general 18 and 19-year-olds doing right now?
Not knowing what bathroom to use.
Some of them are still telling me they don't even want to drive. Right, bro? I could not wait. Brian, when did you have your driver's license?
The day I could.
I think I was 15. I was driving my dad when I was 12 from the bar.
I literally...
I could not wait to be legal driving a car.
I don't know if my mom is still on here, but she'll tell you. I don't think I was as happy as my mother was when I got my license. You know why? Because now I could do all her grocery shopping. She will tell you point blank, I saved her money by me doing all the grocery shopping. Because she sent me with a list, and I knew, do not deviate from that list. And where she'd go shopping and it was walk every aisle, oh, I like this, oh, I like that, whatever. A list of 10 turns into 50 items.
Yeah.
I was sent with a list of 10. I came home with 10. And when I got my driver's license and I was able to drive myself, yep, there she is, amen. When I was able to drive myself and go shopping for her, she was, do you, boo-boo. Like, I had free reign to borrow her car whenever.
Oh, yeah. For those of you that don't know, Ducky was a little entrepreneur back in his teenage years. Had his boys working for him, making bread on the sly.
That's how I roll, baby.
So as I learned this, I started to encompass why he is the way he is as far as with his business. He is always business, always. What can I do better? What can happen better for my business? How I can generate more business.
Yep.
And I was telling him, that's awesome. But sometimes you got to turn it off, man. Because then you're too busy on the go, 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 go. And then he's, man, I'm feeling exhausted. Man, I feel tired. Like, I can tell you why. I can tell you exactly why. Because you're not giving yourself Brian time.
Because now I have to show my son how it's done.
Yes, but again, your son is still at the age where Brian, he probably ain't gonna remember half of this shit.
You don't know.
Right. It has been at least studied that right around the age
I thought we don't trust science.
5.
I thought we don't trust science.
No. I'm just saying.
That's
if you
the big
go
diaper
off
industry.
of
That's the big diaper industry brainwashing you.
See this fucking guy? Come on, man. If you want to go off a guideline, hey, they say that around 5 years old, a child can coherently give and take. Okay? So between that time or up until that time, can you create memories with them? Absolutely. Are they going to remember that shit outside of photos? Probably not.
Probably not.
I try to do that with my children. You don't remember when I took you to this place and we did on the water slide and it was one of the happiest. Sorry, Dad, I don't remember.
Yeah, but see the way I look at it, I'm on the final home stretch of being able to create and develop the freedom to be able to have more time with my son.
Yes, and I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Like the way I did it was I took anything that my father didn't do with me, I ensured that I did with my children. So if he wasn't around...
Random question. What do you think is more motivating as a man? Having a good father or a bad father?
Ooh.
Lessons learned, because I am a firm believer. There are lessons to be learned.
Okay, hold on.
From a bad father.
No, we're going to get there. What is your definition of a good father?
I don't know.
That's where I would struggle. Like, okay.
And I would equally say, what's the definition of a bad father?
Right, no, that's what I'm saying. There are gray areas for both because in my mind, I feel like a father can be a good father.
I feel like a good father is a trying father. A good father is a father who tries. He might not always do it right.
Right.
He might not always be perfect. He might not always do it the way everybody agrees.
But he's trying.
But if he's doing it with his heart to the full of his ability, then what the hell and who gives you the right to challenge how he did it?
Yeah, see, well, that's always been my thing. Like,
so if you give a shit, does that automatically make you a good father?
Listen to me, if you are not fucking me, feeding me, or financing me, you have no say in my life. You don't. That's the easiest way I can explain it to you. So I could give 2 shits how you think I should be.
I know it looks like I'm crying, but I got something in my eye.
I could give 2 shits about how you feel about how I am in public. Like, the way I raise my children is the way I raise my children.
So
you raise your kids the way you want.
So I circle back to the question: what is more motivating, a good father or a bad father?
Okay, see, I don't know an example of a good father. Like, I'm not trying to shit on my father. I love my father. But in my youth, we had issues. In my youth, in my eyes, what I thought as a 16-year-old, what a father was, I was not getting. You see what I'm saying? He didn't come to sports games. He didn't talk to me. We didn't, he was providing though. Roof over my head, clothes on my back, food on the table. Is that a good father? Some people will say that is. He did what a man was required to do. Food on the table, clothes on your back,
if you look
roof
at
on
the
your head.
old school, which we are always claimed to be old school.
See, but
a provider is all a father is to be. Because you look at modern fatherhood, we are looked at to be there in a more emotional role to our son, where the fathers of 40 years ago, zero emotional need from a father. You have a roof over your head, you have food on the table.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
That is all you need.
It was clothes on your back, roof on your head,
core
food on the
needs
table. And okay, I understand what you said. That's why I wanted to kind of sit on this for a minute because that's where my brain is struggling. in certain aspects, if you have to look at it, my father was a good father. He provided, clothes on my back, roof on my head. You know what I'm saying? I never went hungry. I never had to sleep on the streets. So in certain men's eyes, he did what he was supposed to do.
Yeah.
But again, me as a 16-year-old, what I thought my father was supposed to be doing, I wasn't getting. So when I decided to have children...
But now looking back, did you get what you needed?
Yes.
Looking at it as a...
Okay, right. That's what I had to learn as I got older, and it got brought to my attention that the lessons that my father was attempting to instill in me, I was not receiving because I was looking elsewhere. You see what I'm saying? If that makes sense. Although I was looking at my father, his vision was going under and my vision was going over, and we were not meeting up. But as I got older, things that he started to say started to make sense.
Like my biggest qualm, my biggest issue with my father is, it all comes down to one word: inconsistency. My dad was very inconsistent in my childhood. There was times that he was amazing, but then other times he was at the other end of the spectrum. And I do think back and wonder, does the one end of the spectrum wash out the other? Or would I rather have him been in the middle? And I don't know how to answer that. I really don't.
Yeah, see, I don't know how to answer that either. Because if my father wasn't the way he was with me, I don't think I would have been the way I am with my children.
But I look at, and that's where I do think pain to a point, or the negative side of it, however you want to label it, I feel like that motivates us more. Or I know for me at least, like, I never want my son to have those moments that I felt against my dad.
Right.
And that motivates me to never let him feel like that.
Oh, I'm with you on that. That's what I'm saying. Anything my father didn't do with me that I thought was a requirement when I was that age, I ensured that I was there for my children to do when they came of age.
Yeah.
So at least I'm more involved in my kids' lives. I'm more, involved in their personal lives. I like to ask them questions about how they doing, what interests them, did it change. I didn't really get none of that from my father. But
I have stories with my dad that were epic when I was a kid. But then I also have, again, being divorced, parents standing at the door waiting on dad to pick me up. Yeah. And he don't show up. So there's those extremes. But one thing I will give, even though it was a little bit of a rocky start, he is finally stepping up as a great grandfather. And I feel like that is now creating a better father-son between him and I. Like I hate to say the cliche, it's given him and I a second chance.
Yeah.
But to a point. Because I had to get for myself over the fact of like, listen, I don't want my own issues with my dad to keep him from my son.
Right. Or for it to trickle down to your kid.
For it to trickle down to my kid.
Right. I get that.
Instead, if he's wanting to step up as grandpa, who am I to stand between that? But the fact that the person in this world that I care about the most, he is going above and beyond for, it's created a respect for him that I didn't have before.
Yeah, I can get that. I told you, like we said in the last podcast too, my biggest thing too is I give a persona to my children because I want them to see what a real man's supposed to be. Provide, do what you're supposed to. If you say you're going to do it, do it. Be there for your mother, love your mother, don't treat her like shit, all that good stuff. But at the same time, like that persona in my children...
I do think it's one of our number one jobs. Showing a man how to treat a female.
Yes, especially if we have sons.
Yeah.
Because we are the first line of examples they get from the house as far as, well, look what dad's doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that was another thing. Like, we try not to argue in front of our kids when they were younger. We weren't, at each other's throats or nothing like that. If we had a disagreement when we were with the kids, we would wait till we put them to bed. We'd come out to the garage or outside, and we would hash it out away from the kids.
Like, maybe I'm biased coming from a divorced house, but I hate when I see the homes of like, well, we're waiting until they move out to separate. because we don't want our kids to, grow up in a, separated home.
Yeah, I don't.
And
like
it's like,
that
cool.
either.
So now you let your kid live in a war zone,
Right?
because you want to give them that perfect home, but you're now showing them like how shitty a relationship can be, and it's creating where that's seen as the norm.
See, but that's what I'm saying. From back in the day society, the way my dad was raised, right? As I got older, as I did some more research into my own family, I cannot really fault my dad so much when his example as a father wasn't the greatest. So if he didn't have a good example, and then he tried to lead off that example, and he became not a good example, I would rather just flip the script and try to be what my father was not.
Yeah.
So then that way I can at least ensure to myself that what I was looking for as a kid, my sons are getting, because if I thought about it, I'm assuming my children are thinking about it.
Yeah.
And when I talk to my kids about it at the same age that I was with my father, it tends to come up that I was correct. That they're either dealing with this or they don't want to come to me because they think they couldn't tell me. I don't want my kids to be afraid to come to me.
Yeah.
I want them to have the respect enough to let me know and not lie to me. But I don't want them to fear like, oh, I can't tell my father what's going on. I don't want that to happen. So, one more topic, big guy. And I'm going to let you lead on this one because it's really your answer more than mine because you decided to stick around with me. We've been friends almost 20 years. How do you keep a friendship of 20 years alive?
The roughest 20 years of my life.
How do we last this long? We are almost friends as long as I've been married.
Yeah.
Our friendship is 2 years behind my marriage to my wife. So I've been married to my wife going on 21 years this year. I've known Brian just about 18, going on 19. We'll round it up to 20.
Yeah.
So what is it, Brian? Why are we still friends after 20 motherfucking years?
Loyalty.
See, you always be hitting me with that like it's such an easy answer.
Because it is. It's loyalty.
For you. But that's tested over time.
So, I think you and I have had this conversation and many, many times about other friends of ours. You're in, not as much my end, but especially some of your newer friends. You and I started our friendship, and you'll know this more than I will, coming from the military, but I think it's a great parallel. Because of what you experienced in the military, you create a bond with people in a matter of months that would take the average friendship years. Correct?
Yes.
I mean, when you're sitting in a trench, when you're, clearing buildings, when you're doing what you did in the military, and I'm the guy next to you, you have to trust me at a level that almost nobody will ever have to trust a human being.
Right, but that's why I'm saying that camaraderie thing is something to be spoken for with the military.
So but I think there's a difference between a camaraderie of like we work together and we put each other's lives in each other's hands.
Yeah, I'll give you
together.
That. I'll give you that.
The fact that you and I met doing prisoner transport, and I'm sure different stories will come out throughout the podcast.
Oh, we have plenty, guys. Don't worry.
But how many times were you able to jump into a scenario and know that you didn't have to worry about getting stabbed in the back because I was there?
Right.
And then vice versa.
Right.
Like I knew if I ran in that cell or I jumped in that van or I did whatever to get the job done, whether it was, and I know this sounds sketchy, whether it was breaking policy, whether it was not 100% what we should be doing, I knew you'd be at my back.
Of course.
And I think because of you coming out of the military, you already had that mentality. Where I got that mentality, I have no idea. I was just stupid maybe. But reality of it is I was a young bulldog and I was very proactive in corrections. And when we did transport, I believed in being very hands-on. And knowing that, you and I made a promise to each other early on that I would never have to call your wife and say you weren't coming home. And that you would never have to call my mother, because I wasn't married.
At the time.
That you would never have to call my mother and say I wasn't coming home. And that was a promise that you and I took to heart.
Oh, yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned, that promise lies today.
We came home, didn't we, Brian?
You know, and that promise carries on today. You know, I will never let something in what we do in today's world keep me or keep you from coming home to your family.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty confident you would never allow anything to keep me from coming home to mine.
Yeah.
So I think because of that level of trust, it put our friendship on another level, a pedestal, however you want to call it. But it's also because you and I have never been afraid to be vulnerable.
I think that was our advantage. Because remember, I was the one that came and was honest with you. Like, hey, man, these motherfuckers trying to have me fire you, but I think you're a great officer. If you want to stick around, I'm going to tell them you can stick around. You'll just work with me. And that's ended up what happened. And we were partners for 2.5 years in prison transport because nobody else wanted to work with him. But I was honest and upfront with him.
Yeah.
I could have said nothing to him, told them, hey, I didn't find nothing. I'm sure they would have found another reason to get rid of him. So actually, sir, I saved your job.
There you go.
I let you work with me because they were trying to get rid of his ass. They were. And they were trying to use me as a scapegoat to do it. And I couldn't see it, even though he was heavier set than he is now.
But I mean, let's be real. Like, not to get all smooth booty, but I mean, let's face it. How many times have we cried together?
Yeah.
How many times have we been there for each other? Over the course of
20 years, especially if you've been a friend with someone for 20 years and y'all haven't had vulnerability moments, I don't know if you can really call that a friendship. Like, Brian's example of why, saying we work so much is the loyalty I give to him. For me, it's the other way. Is he is the one of the few people in this world that I can be my actual self with and not have any type of judgment, criticism, or like look down upon. And I know it's like, oh, well, I do that to you all the time.
No.
You can say what you want, but when you are trying to be vulnerable as a man and not trying to look like a fucking pussy,
but there's also saying
gonna
it
be
and
hard.
there's testing it. There's saying it and there's testing it.
But that's what I'm saying.
And you and I have been tested against each other numerous times.
That's why I keep saying it's time served. Like, if you had a friend that you were in a high-risk job with for a few years that then turned into one of your friends that you started to, hang out with throughout your life, and then a decade later link up again and build a company up and run it together, you would probably have the same type of relationship that we have. But I highly doubt it because we are one in a million type of people, and just the fact that we found each other was kismet. Because we agree on so many things, but we also differ on so many things.
Yeah.
I think our biggest advantage is, even though we have arguments about things that we may disagree about, at the end of the day, that's still my brother. We still work together. We still own a business together. It's not like because of one conversation, all of a sudden I want to blow up everything we've been striving for over the last year. But not everyone can say that. Not everyone can say that because of one argument, a friendship is over. Because of one argument, I lost a job. Because of one argument, I lost a job offer, job opportunity, client, insert whatever the fuck you want. So I would say to keep 20 years, like, you definitely have to be able to see the uglier side of them without judgment. For me, that's important. For him, it's loyalty. For me, it's seeing me as I am without all my walls and barriers up. Because you can say whatever the fuck you want. Everyone does it.
Well, I think the loyalty, and to me, the biggest thing with you and I is vulnerability. Like, there's nothing you don't know about me that I'm not, and if you don't know it, I'm not willing to hide it.
Right.
Or I'm not afraid to hide it. And, I mean, let's face it, you and I have seen each other in some rough places of our lives.
We have.
And I think the reality of it is again, people can run their mouth and be like, oh, I'm there for you, man. Call me at 2 a.m. I'm there for you, man. But then when that's tested, are they?
Right. When I call at 2 a.m. and I get voice message. When I call at 2 a.m. and it just rings. When I call at 2 a.m. and no one answers.
Calls ignored.
You said you'd be there. I tested the theory.
You see all over Instagram, there's 6 p.m. friends and there's 2 a.m. friends. There's the ones you can call at 6 p.m., hey, let's go hang out. There's the ones you can call at 2 a.m. and say, hey, man, I'm not in it.
Right. People call you to talk about their problems. People call me to help fix their problems. We are not the fucking same.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say it. I even argue it with people like, I don't understand it. Like, just because we like to hold our lives a certain way and live a certain way doesn't mean we're downplaying any way anyone else is living their lives.
Have a code of ethics.
But if we have preferences, if we have a certain way we want our lives to go, that has nothing to do with you. Live your life.
You, boo-boo.
We're not impeding on your decisions. Don't fucking impede on ours.
Yeah.
That's one of our biggest arguments with everyone today. Like, you can have whatever choices of thought you want, but don't push it on me just because I disagree with you.
Yeah.
Don't call me something I'm not just because I disagree with you. Then we start having problems. Because now, if you can't have open debate, I don't want to argue with people. I will debate you all day. But you got to come with some sound logic. You can't just be screaming and thinking you're right.
Well, there's something you can look up. It's called the halo effect. And it's allowing one thing about a person to affect how you see them in their entirety.
Yeah.
And we see that a lot. Again, not trying to get political by no means. But like if I was to tell you I'm Republican, you automatically, I could be the greatest person in the world.
Right.
But if that's not what you're about, you now see me as an asshole.
Especially if you hate the Cheeto man.
There are things about his choices and honestly, even though him and I align a lot on fatherhood, there's things that he's done as a father that I don't 100% agree, and vice versa. But I can take in his input and I process it as I wish. But he doesn't get offended if I go another direction.
Right. It's not my business.
And vice versa. He wants to give his input. You know, like we had a really deep conversation with our wives probably about 2-3 months ago. And we were talking about all of the things that was tested when my wife was pregnant. And would we have made the decision if while she was still pregnant, if we would have made the decision to terminate, abort, whatever the fuck you want to call it, the pregnancy, if we were to find out he had a certain disease or Down syndrome or whatever, we were not anywhere. Him and his wife versus me and my wife, I don't think we were anywhere close.
Nowhere close.
To how we looked at it. And literally the next day I came over here, and I guess his wife even kind of came at him like, yo, you were kind of harsh on them. To the point where he came at me the next day like, hey man, if I offended you, I'm sorry. Like that was not my intention. But I never went home and I was never offended because reality of it is he has his belief system.
It's my opinion.
It's his opinion. I have my belief system. I have my opinion. My wife has hers. His wife has hers. But you see too often in today's world where a conversation like that could cause or could put a wedge in between friendships.
Yeah, well, I can't be friends with you anymore because this is the way you want to think about that situation. Like, why?
That's horseshit.
What happens to
and
agree to disagree?
If that's how delicate your friendship is, where one disagreement can derail it, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Yes, you don't have a friendship.
You don't have a friendship.
And you sure as hell don't have a brotherhood.
Yeah, see, I think that would be the differentiation between.
Why are you trying to sound educated?
Friendship. It's the word that came to mind, and then my brain couldn't process it fast enough. Between like a friendship and then like a brotherhood, right? Like I've known Brian long enough now to where I tell people that that's my brother.
Yeah.
I've known him he knows my kids.
When he calls me his best friend, I call him out. I'm like, that's bullshit. I am not your best friend. I am your brother.
It has become more and more of a common theme that I'm describing him as my brother or, my business partner. We are co-owners.
Hell, his mother loves me more than him. I don't know why, but
hey, I'm an acquired taste. That's why, brother. And my mother's been with me all my life.
But she chose me.
40 years of me is enough
for anybody.
She was stuck with him. I promise you. Right.
She chose me.
Well, unfortunately, my ducklings, we are coming to a close of today's episode.
I think it's a good way to end it.
Yes.
Good place to stop.
Right. I did want to end on a little lighter note of things.
Couple housekeepings. Please go follow us on El Oso and the Duck.
Please.
On Instagram.
We'll be able to start.
He has also converted his YouTube to El Oso and the Duck.
Yes.
Until we start building traction on El Oso and the Duck. I will probably be posting everything we do. I will be cross-posting on Don't Be a Sitting Duck side, because obviously that's a big unity between us, our company. And I think this is a great way. As weird as it sounds, if you're going to trust somebody to show you how to protect you and your family, I think you should get to know them a little bit.
I agree.
And I think this is a great way as an instructor to my students to show you who's teaching you.
And not only that, why we teach it.
And why we believe in what we believe and why we do what we do. So again, we'll be cross-posting everything. But please go follow, subscribe to El Oso and the Duck on YouTube as well as Instagram. Because right now we're having to post all this stuff on all the Don't Be a Sitting Duck and our personal stuff because we don't have enough following on that.
Right.
So please, please, please go do that. Other than that,
thanks for joining us. I appreciate y'all sticking around, whether it was for 5 minutes
hopefully
or the entire episode.
This is a cool.
So all my OG riders out there that stayed the whole way, I appreciate it. But thanks for stopping in, whether you left a comment, whether you did it.
The reality of it is it's probably just our moms.
That's okay.
But that's okay. Because I'm a mama's boy.
Yeah. And I make my mama happy always.
And if you got a problem with mama's boys, then you got a problem. Because you should not. Because your mama is the first woman to ever love you.
That's right. And she will remain to love you as long as
damn
you don't
right.
fuck it up.
And my mom has loved me through all my stupidity. And I will forever be grateful.
So we hope you guys enjoyed the second rendition of El Oso and the Duck. We will make further adjustments.
And it looks like our camera did not die.
Did not.
So we should be able to post this one.
We will.
I'll probably pull some segments of it.
Probably
as well as do a full master, full release of it. So hopefully we'll see how that comes out. If you don't see it posted, you'll know the camera work did not happen as well as we hoped.
So until next time, my ducklings, thank you for visiting us with the time that you have. I hope you guys have a good time.
Yeah, thank you for putting us into your day.
Right. We always like...
I value that.
Criticism. You guys liked something, didn't like something, want to see more of something, please let us know. We're always trying to do this better. We are going to continue to do it whether you watch it or not. So
we're probably also going to start doing some little, him and I ride to work together. We're probably
riding with El Oso and the Duck, baby.
Riding with El Oso and the Duck.
And you'll catch us in the morning or afternoon on our way home from work.
So if you'd like a small little short topic to be hit, comment below and maybe we'll throw it into one of those.
So until next time, my friends, I appreciate y'all coming through and hanging out with us. I am El Oso. This is the Duck. Until next time, people.
Quack, quack.
Quackity quack.
Y'all be good. Whoop, whoop.